doing and why you're doing it again?
Well, first thing I'm going to do is take the strings off, and there's an old wives' tale that you should only do one string at a time. That's not true. There's about 160, 150, 160 pounds of tension on this whole set of strings tuned to pitch. And this big chunk of wood that's made out of the neck isn't going to be affected whether you put on one or... Now, one of the things I do is I like to take the ball end and I bend it forward a little bit, and then I put it in so the bend goes forward this way and engages the bridge plate.
So you're bending it towards the neck of the guitar?
Yes. Just a little bit. Because then it's more likely to clear the pin. It doesn't get, you don't have the ball end get hung up on the pin, and then sometimes the pin will shoot out.
Sure.
When you're tightening it up. Or it starts to go brrr and like loosen up after you've tuned it. That's what's happening, is that you caught the ball end on the pin and then it's come off of the pin, and now you've got another 3/8 of an inch of slack to pull through. By putting that little bend in there, bending it forward a little bit. Now I'm going to put all 6 strings on the bridge, and then I'll start putting them on the guitar.
So as you're putting it in there, you're pushing on it and pulling at the same time?
Yeah, because I want to feel that ball end come off the end of the pin.
Got it.
So I'm kind of looking with my fingers, and I want to feel that, so when I'm pulling up on the string, it shouldn't be pulling up on the pin.
Got it. Guitar is like a lot of things in your life. The more you practice, the more you get out of it.
Mm-hmm. Now, tuning it on here. Okay, on the tuners, when I'm changing strings, I like to have the string hole kind of pointing toward where the string is coming out.
So in line with the neck?
Yeah. It doesn't have to be.
Just helps you with feeding it through?
Yeah. And also it makes it uniform. So for instance, I'm going to pull this string all the way through, and then I'm going to pull up about this much slack, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just enough so that I can come down this end, and there's like just enough slack to
do a wrap around?
Yeah, over the top.
Looks like you're wrapping clockwise.
Yeah, well the other side's going to go the opposite direction, so I'm winding towards the inside.
So the other side's going to
Now the next wrap, so this first wrap goes over the top of is what we call the free running end in rope work.
Okay.
This wrap goes around the top, and now on the other side where the string came through, it's going underneath. See that come through?
Yeah.
And now, when I come around to the other side, I got about 2 wraps. I got one on the top and one on the bottom. Tuned up a little sharp, that's okay. I'm not going to worry about the tuning now. And then I just flexed it a little bit. Now it just went down a little bit low, so I just took a little slack out of the string.
When you flexed it, you were pulling it towards you?
I was twisting it.
Got it.
So I'm pushing one side one way and the other side the other way. And you do that a couple times, and you want to make sure your pins are all the way down.
Good way to poke your eye out, huh?
You could. You want to be careful. All right, bend it up. Now it's going underneath. And these are all going underneath. Because this post here has a concave surface. So as you tighten it up, everything wants to pull down to the lowest point. So this actually kind of locks the string onto the part that's going through the hole by having one on top and the other one's on the bottom. And then by just having a couple of wraps, like 2, maybe 3 wraps, you don't have as much string wrapped around the post that has to stretch out. This string's actually going to stretch a pretty good amount, maybe 3/4 of an inch when you tune it to pitch. It actually stretches the metal out till it gets tight. And if you have a whole bunch of wraps around the post, all that stretch has to come out of the post against the friction of being on the post until it'll have tuning stability. But by just having about 2 or 3 wraps, you have a lot less material to stretch out, so the tuning will stabilize much quicker and stay in tune better.
One wrap around, and then you end up spinning it about almost a full revolution from where the full revolution and a half, or about
thereabouts. You want to end up with about 2 or 3 wraps of string around the post.
2 or 3 wraps of string around the post. Got it.
Usually I like to go from the tuner closest to further out, and then when I'm going to switch to this side, I'm going to go closest to further out.
Got it. So you're going to E string, A string, D string, and then you're going E string, B string, G string.
Correct. Now these will wrap the other way because they're on the other side, so they're going to wrap towards the inside also. Right? I've got a super cool string winder, but it doesn't quite fit on these tuners, so I just do it by hand. So this is actually a little slower than on a different guitar.
They make string winders
They do.
that fit just about any style of string, or is it the guitar?
Yeah, no, other string winders will fit these tuners. These are just a little bit fatter than a lot of the stuff that you might see. And you can tune them while you go. Oh, here's the other thing I wanted to do. Hang on. Before I get too crazy. I'll put a little chapstick in the nut.
What is that for?
It lubricates the nut slot. So friction in the nut slot is going to not help you stay in tune.
So you're putting it in the hole where the string slides?
in the actual slot where the string
Got it.
goes. Yep. Just wipe off the excess. Yeah, so when you change the strings, you can just dab a little more chapstick in there, and you're good to go.
Otherwise, are you going to end up wearing out that plastic? Is that wood or plastic?
This is probably plastic unless we made a bone one. This doesn't look like, no, this is a plastic one.
Okay.
A bone nut is the best for tuning stability because it's harder and the string it doesn't get grooves in it as easily as plastic. That could be a part of your tune. Usually when people have problems keeping their guitar in tune, it's because they don't have a bone nut.
Is that the next step, is to maybe build one or have you install one for me?
Yeah, if you wanted to do something else on this guitar, a bone nut would be the way to go.
Okay.
But that wax will help it slip through the slot so you'll have tuning stability.
Now, you've said, depending on how much you play the guitar, should really determine. Now, does that also, do you take in the quality of the strings into consideration?
No, the quality of tone. That's the ultimate arbiter.
Okay.
Some people like dead strings. Some people like really bright, new sounding strings.
I do.
So if you like really bright new sounding strings, you're going to want to change them when they're no longer sound bright.
Got it.
Right? And how long they're going to sound bright is going to depend on how much you play it, and also the type of strings. Like if you like these elixirs, they'll probably stay the way they sound for quite a while.
3 to 6 months. If
Yeah.
I'm playing every day, 3 months.
Yeah, that's a long ride for a set of strings. On my electric guitar, when I was playing a lot, I would change strings every week, every 2 weeks.
Got it. Well, I bought a big, large quantity of these from Amazon, like a big pack to try to save me money, and just to keep the same strings on this guitar that I have on my Taylor. So you just try to get a little flat right now.
I'm just tuning it to pitch.
Pitch. Just trying to get that G string to register. So do you want to work the tune from thickest string to thinnest string?
Doesn't matter.
It's not going to tweak the neck. It's not going to, nothing. Because like you said, it can handle the tension, right?
Yeah.
It looks like not all the balls back there are even in height. They work themselves up, and then you just. Now, how much do you want to cut off?
I just cut it right at the tuner.
Got it.
We're not saving these for anything.
No.
Just cut them off and get them out of the way. Now, I've got it roughly tuned to pitch. I didn't really go super painstakingly because I'm going to go through and I'm going to give them all a little stretch. So I'm just grabbing them between my thumb and forefingers and give them all a little twist like that and pulling any slack out. Now I'll go through and make sure I'm tuning up to the note. Give the truss rod a little tweak.
Can you see it, or can you feel it, or can you hear it? That it was not what you. How did you know you're going to put the truss?
I checked the relief. You check the relief by fretting it kind of here by the body joint, and then you fret it right here in front of the nut. And then you look in the middle at how much clearance there is from the bottom of the string to the top of the fret. And this is, it's pretty close, but it's just a little on the high side. But just a little adjustment feels big to your left hand on the frets.
I've been teaching myself scales, so
Uh-huh.
you know, getting the strings closer to the fretboard.
A minor harmonic, that's my favorite.
Yeah.
Ooh, not pricing that enough.
Sounds different already.